I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met.
According to the CDC, nearly 20 million new STDs are diagnosed every year in the US. That is a huge number. And when you look at celebrities who engage in that risky behavior, it's hard not to wonder about the consequences, right? And it seems like the way society views sexuality, that plays a huge role in this. Diddy has faced backlash for not openly addressing his sexual orientation.
In a now deleted Instagram post, Diddy shared this photo and wrote, quote, "Just had my final knee surgery. They said I'd never run again. I said the devil is a liar, 2 exclamation points. 3 surgeries in 1 year. Third time's a charm, 3 exclamation points. Hashtag rebirth. Don't take the simple things in life for granted. Thank you to all the surgeons and docs and PTs. I thank God for y'all. And hashtag team love, hashtag thank you, hashtag God is the greatest."
These people are monsters.
Diddy was taken to a Brooklyn hospital from MDC. MDC is the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. It's where Diddy's been held since his arrest back in September. His team has tried multiple times for bail, but it's always been denied. So that's where Diddy has been for months now, but last week he was taken to the hospital. According to reports from the New York Post, Diddy was transported from MDC in the cover of darkness at about 10 p.m. on January 30th. He was taken to a Brooklyn hospital for an MRI after reporting issues with his knee. This actually isn't the first time we've heard about Diddy's knee either. He's apparently had problems with it since 2003 when he ran the New York Marathon. He even had multiple knee surgeries back in 2017.
So in that case, this was a little bit different, getting him outside the facility in the late evening hours to do just, possibly a basic MRI. And the like. And then you also got to think about the security of the hospital and their operations. I mean, people are there to try to get better. You have families there to visit their loved ones. And the last thing you need is somewhat, a chaotic environment that's causing concern with security.
Actually witnessing a lot of women that were physically abused by Diddy. I mean, not only Cassie, of course, which you saw multiple times, but Kim Porter. He was on a trip where Kim Porter got her nose broken allegedly by Diddy and flew in a plastic surgeon to fix it. There was a personal chef that Diddy beat up. I actually heard voicemails of her describing it. This wasn't even something that she wanted to come publicly with. There was other women as well.
But he's actually under the primary custody. He's a U.S. what we call a U.S. Marshals inmate because he's on pretrial status. So the Bureau, the agency, the Bureau of Prisons oversees, the operations with overseeing the inmates on a day-to-day basis. He was definitely taken out at that time.
Diddy leaving MDC to go to the hospital. Is this a big undertaking?
Not necessarily. Only in the format that it happened with him leaving later in the evening. Typically, inmates are given a physical within the first 14 days of their arrival. And if there's anything that indicates that needs immediate follow-up, the medical team there will follow up immediately. However, if there's some procedures or some sort of medical processes they need to go through that are not available at the institution, or they can't bring someone in like a specialist to come in to perform that medical process at the institution. But this particular process was a little bit different because
could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
Wait, please name them because we need to know.
Wait a minute. Those are things that I'll be discussing on the Jaguar Wright Show from here on out.
Shout out Jaguar Wright Show. But yeah, no, we need those names because God damn.
Are usually not even about this Jane or John Doe specifically in the case, but rather it lays out the larger picture. Let me tell you what I mean. This complaint reads, quote, "For decades, Sean Combs abused, molested, raped, assaulted, threatened, and coerced men, women, minors, and others for sexual gratification to assert dominance and to conceal his abhorrent conduct. He accomplished these acts by and through a criminal enterprise built on his success as a rapper, record producer, and record executive. Combs is one of the wealthiest musical artists in the world. Behind the facade of being a 3-time Grammy Award winner, discovering and developing multiple famous musical artists, and ranking on Forbes' list of the highest paid entertainers in the world, there existed something sinister, a dark underbelly of crime, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and prostitution. Combs is a menace to society, women, and children. While his wealth has kept him above consequence for years, Combs now faces the awesome power of the American judicial system and ultimately a jury of his peers who will be asked to punish him for the deplorable conduct described herein. Now, you don't usually see an opening like that in a lawsuit, making a lot of allegations and statements about the defense.
There's lots of rumor mills about him being secretly gay or bisexual or whatever. I mean, I don't care, but do you think there's much credence to those?
She was on the radio in New York, and she said that she had photos of Diddy in a gay type environment of some sort. And I had someone actually explain to me what that photo was after the fact. And Diddy came in and threatened to sue the radio station unless she was fired. And she was fired, and she had to go to Philly for, I think, 5 years or something like that.
It's got a lot. I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
a lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected. See, I'm the content, I'm the passion, I'm the voice. I'm also the brain, but I do too much by myself.
To have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
He didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did do that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
Wait, please name them because we need to know.
Wait a minute. Those are things that I'll be discussing on the Jaguar Wright Show from here on out.
Shout out Jaguar Wright Show. But yeah, no, we need those names because God damn.
First with Mrs. Jaguar Wright. She said a lot of things that were very jarring in her explanation of what she saw and had firsthand accounts on. My concern for her, she's saying a lot of things that could be considered libelous.
Right.
And I would suggest that she contacts an attorney, if only to vet the information she has or purports to have from other victims. At least they can protect her, and then they can also do their due diligence, the attorneys, to make sure that the information she's receiving is accurate outside of the things that she knows and may have proof of.
In my career, someone taken out to the hospital at this time of night for something as basic as an MRI.
So I think there's a lot of violence that has happened around him, and I think at this point it's just catching up to
What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think Diddy will ever come out of prison?
I don't think that the music industry is really having less situations than other industries. I mean, every industry has certain situations and they're high profile, and there's a bunch of other stuff that kind of falls below the radar.
In 1990, he's working as a talent director for Uptown, but he hits it big 3 years later when he starts Bad Boy Entertainment. From there, it just explodes. He's signing people as a producer, big names like Notorious B.I.G., Usher, Mary J. Blige. It's music, it's fashion with Sean John, where he's a founder. He was literally the top of the world when it came to music, entertainment, alcohol, anything that he touched. He had the Midas touch.
He seemed to be really dedicated to being successful in the industry, and he decided that instead of following someone around, he would make his own way, and he did that. He also is presumably a family man. He has been in some very public relationships. There's Kim Porter. I think we all remember his relationship with Jennifer Lopez. He has 7 children, and he really takes pride, at least publicly, in being involved as a father.